Hi there, it's Jodi. Welcome to episode 38 of Tuesday Tips. Today I'm going to talk to you about one of our Stampin' Up! Tools. It's a take your pick tool. And while this has several different features that I'm not going to get into today, the one I am going to focus on is right up here in the catalog. It's called the Take Your Pick Die Brush Tip. And so what that does is putting that tip on your tool, it lets you get all those little pieces out when you die cut something, when the pieces don't all fall out naturally. So that's what I want to tell you about today, because that tool is a little bit of a lifesaver. It just is so much more enjoyable to cut out those really intricate dies when you don't have the stress of poking out each of the little pieces. So I am using a tool that I've had. It does the exact same thing. I just haven't gotten that new tip yet because I have this one. So this that I'm going to be using does the exact same thing as the Take Your Pick die brush tip. So that is what we're going to focus on today. And to show you that, we are using some products from the Lights Aglow suite that is part of our current mini catalog. If you don't have this already, definitely let me know. The Lights Aglow suite is just gorgeous. It's got gorgeous designer paper ribbon embellishments. It's got 2 different stamp sets and dies. And so you can see all of the images here in the stamp set and some of the dies, as well as this one. Now, what's unique about this, let me just show you up closer. This bundle is all of the different greetings, and you can see there's some labels there, but then there's also these pieces, and these pieces cut out lots of little tiny pieces with the die. So that's what I want to focus on today with you. So I am going to use this die. Do you see all of those little pieces? And a square of cherry cobbler cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up just centered. This piece is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 inches. And you can see that circle die fits pretty tight on that 3 1/4 inch square. So I've got my die cut machine off camera here, and I'm just going to crank it through so that we can show you how awesome that die brush is. So I'll lift this whole piece so you can see it. So when I take this off, you can see, oop, now my brush is rolling. You can see that several of the pieces came out, but not all. So you can see them on here. You could take this and kind of manipulate a little bit, and you can see some are falling out, but that would take forever. And it's not very fun to have to take time to do that. So what you get when you do the die brush tip, you get these 2 foam pieces as well. And I just stuck mine in a clear case from an old stamp set. So I set it on here. I take my tip, and you just go around where you still have the little pieces. Do you see how much easier that is? So I could just go back, hit the spots, and it's just so easy and stress-free, because these intricate dies, they're absolutely gorgeous. But if you have to take so much time and individually pick out the little pieces that don't come out, that is not fun at all. All right, so a quick look. Got a little stubborn one over here. There we go. I think that's all. Oh, one more. This has so many little pieces. All right. I think that's all of them. I think so. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. That die brush is just so handy to have. Okay, so I'm going to pull in my other pieces here. I've got a square of gold foil and a square of Blushing Bride. This square is 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. This one I cut just a hair smaller than the 3 1/4. And what I'm going to do is take my adhesive, and I'm going to put some in the center here, and then just a little bit on each corner where it's more solid cardstock. And then I'm going to set this right over the gold foil paper. And it just makes those die cut tiny little circles just pop right off. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so fun to use. It just looks stunning on cards to have that like sparkle and shimmer come through the die cut image. Okay, and then this piece will go on the Blushing Bride that is 3.5 by 3.5. A little bit of adhesive there. Okay, so the card base, I did a couple of things already. So this is Blushing Bride, and you know, typically we cut 8.5 by 5.5. So I did that. I scored it in the center, but then I cut half of the front right off. So this is 2 1/8 of an inch, and I've left 2 1/8 of an inch here. And so I added a couple patterns of designer paper there. And then what I'm going to do is add this to the front of my card. So I'm going to only put adhesive on half. So I'm going to do a few long strips and then set that right here. So I'm kind of centering so that I have an equal amount of designer paper on each side. And then vertically, it's a little bit higher than centered. The key here is I don't want adhesive on this part or my card isn't going to open. Then what I'm going to do, I've got 2 pieces here that are shimmery white. Not sure if you can see that shimmer, but in person it is very, very pretty. And I'm going to use a couple of the images, the greetings, that are in the stamp set, in the Brightest Glow stamp set. So I'm going to take All is Merry and Bright, and I will stamp that on the smaller piece that we are going to die cut. And then the Hoping Your Christmas Shines Bright with the Love of Family and Friends. And that is going to go on this piece. Okay, so let me set that aside. I'm actually going to restamp this. I just want it to be more even. So I'm going to stamp around. My ink pad needs a little refill squirted on there. Okay, that one's a little better. Okay, so this is going to get some adhesive. This is going to be the inside of the card. And what's important here is that when I put this on, I kind of set it. And then I go back to my front, make sure it's all covered up by this square, and then I'll go back and press it down. If it was off a little bit, you know, if I could see the shimmery white around the edges, then I can just adjust it briefly. So the last thing I'm going to do then is take this die that came in that same set, and I'm going to place it over the greeting and run it through off camera again. And then we'll add that to the card and be all done. I just love this card. I love the lights aglow. And that die brush makes me enjoy it even more. So I'll just put some adhesive on the back and add that. Oh, I forgot to do the die brush on this one before I put the adhesive. Let's see if I can do it in my hand. It's much easier to do on the little foam piece, but with the adhesive, can't really do that. Did I get them all? All right, now I think I did. Okay, and now we can set it right there in the center. So I really like the cherry cobbler with Blushing Bride also on this card. And then of course, just that gorgeous designer paper. I did another one with Soft Succulent and Evening Evergreen just as a point of comparison. So I'd love to know which one you like better, which color scheme, the red and pink or the shades of green. This is just a really fun card, and it really highlights that designer paper. The way the gold foil pops out from behind is awesome. You're going to want to get the Take Your Pick tool and that die brush tip. It's going to make using our intricate dies much more enjoyable. All right, thanks so much. Have a great day.